Hello again. Welcome back to the Levels Virtual Tax Professional Training Series. My name is David, your virtual instructor. Today we are going to discuss how you get paid. Money is my favorite subject. Well, of course there's my mother, my beloved sister, and my cat. But other than that, it's money. That reminds me, what does a kitty like to eat for breakfast? Mice Krispies. Thank you, I'll be here all video. I could laugh and joke with you all day, but I have a job to do. So let's get down to business. There are two types of Levels tax professionals. Those who have their own software platform, and those who work within someone else's office. Someone who operates their own tax office is called an ERO or electronic return originator. Unlike most tax professionals, the ERO has a personalized version of Levels software and a direct relationship with the banks who fund refund transfers. The ERO has the option of operating virtually, or they can get a traditional brick-and-mortar building. These individuals also have the capability to employ other tax professionals to work under them. When you have your own office, you are responsible for paying yourself and those you hire under you, as all tax preparation fees are deposited directly into your business bank account. At Levels, our goal is that every tax professional graduates to owning their own virtual tax software platform. And we have made that quite simple. Check out EFIN and ERO training in our video catalog for more information. When you have your own office, your tax preparation fees are deposited into your bank account the same day your client is funded. The actual process goes like this. Let's say a client e-files a tax return through your office, either with you, or someone else using your tax platform, and is owed a refund from the IRS. And let's say their tax prep fees are $450. If the client does not want to pay the fee out of pocket, they can elect to receive a refund transfer. A refund transfer is a service provided by a select group of banks that specialize in products and services for tax firms. When a client chooses the refund transfer option, their return is issued to the bank instead of the taxpayer. When the bank receives the refund from the IRS, they will almost instantly deduct and distribute all fees owed by the taxpayer, who will simultaneously receive the balance. So if the client was due an $8,000 return from the IRS and owed $450 in tax prep fees, then bank will deduct the $450 from the return plus any e-file fees and/or transmission fees, and forward the balance to the taxpayer. In fact, the bank will deduct almost any fee agreed upon by you and the client. For example, if you wanted to offer raffle opportunities, contests or giveaways as a marketing tool, there is a box inside the software to add any related promo fees that you were passing on to the taxpayer. The bank will deduct these fees for you as well. And they also deduct a small fee for themselves for providing the service, usually between $30 and $40. It is your responsibility to understand all fees associated with refund transfers and convey these to your clients. And it is required by the banks that you explain to your client that a refund transfer is not required. You will learn more about this in a later training video where we discuss bank and government compliance. But for now, just know that bank products are one of the greatest tools we possess as tax professionals. This is also how we provide tax return advances and loans in the early part of the season for clients who do not want to wait on funding from the IRS. We will also discuss this in a later video, but it is worth noting that no fees are distributed if and when a taxpayer receives an advance or loan against a refund. Fee distribution takes place only when the taxpayer is funded by the IRS. So if your client is due an $8,000 return and receives a $6,000 advance the day they file the return with you, you will not receive your fees until the client actually receives their refund from the IRS. If for some reason the client does not get funded by the IRS, or if they only receive a portion of what they expected, there is a chance that no fees will be distributed, which means you will not be paid. Many times, the client's refund is offset, or garnished due to owing the IRS, child support, school loans, judgments and things of that nature. When a client owes this types of debt, that money is deducted even before it reaches the bank. It is the IRS who enforces the judgments and intercepts the money. After the IRS deducts any money the client owes, the balance, if any, is processed as usual. The bank will take their fees, then the prep and e-file fees, then the client gets what's left. The reality is that some clients simply will not receive the refund they anticipate. Or in many instances the refund will be less than what is expected. And as mentioned earlier, the bank always gets their fees first. So using the taxpayer example from before, let's say the client only receives $5,075 of the $8,000 they anticipated due to an offset enforced by the IRS. And let's say that client also received a $6,000 advance on the day they filed their return with you, as is common practice. This means the client's actual refund is not enough to cover the loan, nor the fees charged by the bank, and certainly not your fee of $450. The bank will by default keep the entire refund in an attempt to recover the money already advanced to the taxpayer. Since there will be no money left to distribute, no one else will receive a payment, including your tax firm. It is recommended that you consult with clients concerning any debt they have which may cause their refund proceeds to be offset when agreeing to have your fees come out of the return. If they are uncertain if they owe a fee, they can call the IRS offset hotline at 1-800-304-3107. If you find that a client owes a previous debt, it is wise to get payment for your service up front, or come to some type of agreement with the taxpayer. The ERO also receives the transmission fee. So if you charge the client $450 in prep fees and a $49 transmission fee, you will receive $499 when the client is funded. The benefits of becoming an ERO are quite obvious. Having more control over your funds, retaining 100% of all prep and transmission fees, and developing your own brand, are the three that stand out the most to me. And of course, there is the ability to create a path for others to be successful. But the ERO also has more responsibilities and a heavier workload, so it is not always for everyone. The good news is that everyone at Levels is provided with all of the tools they need to be successful and advance in the tax profession and beyond. With us, it's not where you start at, it's where you finish that matters most. To learn more about becoming an ERO, check out our 2-part video on the subject. That brings us to the Levels tax professionals who work within an already established Levels office. The owners of these offices are referred to as team leaders, and the tax professionals who share the tax platform are referred to as teammates. Because at Levels, we are all bosses. Literally. As independent contractors, you work 100% for yourself. You make your own hours, set your own fees and work wherever you choose. In some instances, a team leader or ERO may have teammates who work within a certain set of parameters, especially in instances when they operate from an actual brick-and-mortar building. But for the most part, Levels tax professionals govern themselves. The amount a Levels tax professional earns varies based upon their experience, their participation in training, and the length of time they have been with Levels. Other factors include things like being a moderator or mentor for new preparers, having an EFIN application pending, and more. In most cases, Levels tax professionals earn a percentage of the tax prep fees they charge a client. Tax prep fees can range from $99 to $999, and your percentage varies between 50% and 100%. For example, if you have a 70% 30% arrangement and you charge a client $500 for tax preparation services, you will earn $350. Your split is determined by your team lead, who in most cases will be the ERO of the tax platform you are assigned to. Some exceptions apply. How you receive your funds will also be determined by your team lead, as the funds are deposited into their business account at funding, and they then have to pay you. Levels is currently working on direct deposit methods for getting you your money, but since most tax professionals want to be paid as soon as possible, we have found that Zelle, Apple Pay, and even Cash App transfers work best. Tax professionals can also receive payment in a traditional check. But once again, this is a matter of preference. Make sure you get with your team lead to have a clear understanding of your percentage agreement and how you will receive your funds. Since the ERO's earnings are deposited directly into their bank, they will be responsible for reporting their profits and losses to the IRS at the end of the business year, or whenever they choose to do so. Everyone else will receive a 1099 from Levels stating the money they earned. As a Levels tax professional, you will learn how to file your 1099, and how to minimize your tax exposure by writing off the business expenses associated with running your tax business. If you have questions, be sure to contact your team lead. And do me a favor, subscribe to the YouTube page that hosts this video. From what I understand, they will be posting tons of valuable content about physical, mental, and financial wealth. Also, if you like the information I am sharing with you, give me a thumbs up. While they asked me to make this video for Levels, I think they want everyone to understand how the tax business works. That's why they posted me in a public platform for the world to see. I am going to be famous. This is all I have for today. I'll see you in the next video.